News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Ricks. Congress has till Friday to come up with a funding plan before the Department of Homeland Security shuts down. But House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Democrats will keep pushing for ICE reforms to combat violent immigration tactics.
ICE is completely and totally out of control, and the American people want them reined in.
Jeffries on CNN's State of the Union. Meantime, White House border czar Tom Homan says he'd like to draw down the number of ICE agents in Minneapolis over the next 2 weeks, but only if he gets more cooperation from its leaders and protesters.
I need some help from the governor and mayor to get the message out there to the public. And as the agitation, as the interference taps down, that allows me to release the security force quicker.
Homan speaking to ABC affiliate KSTP in Minneapolis there. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has said it's a step in the right direction. Exit polls show Japan Premier Sanai Takaichi's ruling Liberal Democratic Party has won a supermajority in a snap election. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent praised Takaichi's landslide victory.
Boy, has she had a big victory today. She's going to have 2/3 majority in the upper house. President Trump endorsed her last week. She is a great ally, great relationship with the president. And when Japan is strong, the U.S. is strong in Asia.
Bessent on Fox's Sunday Morning Futures. He also criticized traders in China in that interview, citing them as a reason for last week's wild swings in the gold market. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian described Friday's nuclear talks with Washington as a step forward and insists that the Islamic Republic's not pursuing nuclear weapons. President Trump has threatened strikes on Iran over its crackdown on protests, as well as its nuclear ambitions. He says more talks are expected this week. More Republicans are calling for President Trump to apologize for posting a racist video on social media this week of the Obamas. New York Congressman Mike Lawler says he's disappointed in the White House for releasing it and refusing to own up to its mistake.
Whether it was intentional or a mistake, the fact is it's wrong, and we should all just be able to acknowledge that and move forward.
Lawler on ABC's This Week. That video's since been deleted, but President Trump has said he won't apologize. Hims & Hers says it'll stop selling a copycat version of Wegovy's new weight loss pill just 2 days after launching it. The decision follows the FDA's announcement this week that said it was cracking down on imitation weight loss treatments. Novo Nordisk, which makes Wegovy, had also threatened to take action. Block is making job cuts now in a big efficiency push. Bloomberg's Ed Kalecki has details.
Jack Dorsey's Block has been notifying hundreds of employees that their jobs may be eliminated during annual performance reviews as the payments firm embarks on a broader business overhaul. Up to 10% of Block's workforce is at risk of being cut. The company had fewer than 11,000 employees as of late November. Block has been retooling its business model and staffing since 2024 when it reorganized reporting lines and outlined a plan to operate more efficiently. Ed Kalecki, Bloomberg Radio.
Last week's partial government shutdown didn't last long enough to delay key economic readings, which means we'll get the monthly jobs report initially scheduled for last Friday, this Wednesday. Economists predict 70,000 more jobs gained than lost in January, partly because last week's job readings showed weakness. Football fans are spending big bucks to attend tonight's big game pitting the New England Patriots against the Seattle Seahawks. Here's Bloomberg's Charlie Pellet.
Regardless of the draw, tickets, hotel, and airfare to the nation's most watched sporting event has attendees forking over more than $9,400 on average, according to data collected from SeatGeek, Hotels.com, and Hopper. For many fans, the total cost of a 3-day weekend will reach well into 5 figures. Charlie Pellet, Bloomberg Radio.
More than 80 million people in the Northeast are dealing with more dangerous cold today, with winds dragging down temperatures to single digits and in many places into negative territory.
I did not expect that, especially the wind. I did not expect the wind because it's freezing.
These folks in New York City.
This is a type of weather that you don't play with.
Officials are urging people to stay inside today or layer up if you have to venture out. More than a dozen New Yorkers have died in the freezing cold this winter, many from hypothermia. And American skier Lindsey Vonn is now in stable condition after a major crash during the Olympics today landed her in the hospital. The U.S. ski and snowboard team just posted an update on X and says Vonn's in good hands as she undergoes surgery to stabilize a fracture in her left leg. She'd already been competing with a torn ACL. Vonn's teammate Breezy Johnson ended up winning gold for Team USA in that event. It's still the U.S.'s one and only medal. Norway leads the medal count with 6, including 3 gold. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Ricks, and this is Bloomberg.